Coordinates of center of mass of discrete system of particles. Now we can find out the coordinates of center of mass for two particles. Let us consider there are two particles of masses m1 and m2. These two particles are lying on the x-axis. The first particle of mass m1, which is at a distance x1 from the origin, and the second particle of mass m2, it is at a distance x2 from the origin. Okay, for those two particles, let us consider the center of mass C. It is at a distance xc from the origin. If there are two particles for two equal masses, the center of mass is exactly lies at the midpoint of those two particles. Here, these are the two equal masses and this is the center of mass. For two equal masses, the position of center of mass is exactly at the midpoint. There are two same distances. The center of mass is at a distance r from the second object. Similarly, the center of mass is at a distance r from the first object also. Why? Because of there are two equal masses. For unequal masses, for example, if this is a first mass and if this is a second mass, the first mass is m1 and the second mass is m2. Then for two unequal masses, the center of mass is always lies nearer to the heavier object. Now this is the center of mass position C. Okay, this is R1 and this is R2. Here my intention is to say that the position of center of mass is always located nearer to the heavier object. Okay, here the mass of the second object is greater than the mass of the first object, but the position of the center of mass from the second object is less than the position of the center of mass from the first object. From these two, the position of the center of mass is inversely proportional to the mass of the object. From these relations, we can write that the position of the center of mass is inversely proportional to mass of the object. Okay, here from this relation we can write that m1 r1 is equals to m2 r2. In our diagram, r1 is the position of center of mass from the first object of mass m1 and r2 is the position of the center of mass from the second object of mass m2. Okay, now the value of xc can be written as like, the value of center of mass can be written as like, from the diagram, xc is equals to x1 plus r1, x1 plus r1. From this we can write r1 as xc minus x1. Simply the distance of center of mass from the origin xc can be written as like xc is equals to x2 minus r2, x2 minus r2. From this we can write r2 is equals to x2 minus xc. Okay, let it be equation number 1. Substitute the values of r1 and r2 in equation number 1. By substituting these values, we can get m1 into xc minus x1 is equals to m2 into x2 minus xc. By expanding this equation, it is m1 xc minus m1 x1 is equals to m2 x2 minus m2 xc. Okay, and minus m2 xc on getting LHS side, it is written as like m1 xc plus m2 xc is equals to minus m1 x1 on getting RHS side, it is m1 x1 plus m2 x2. In the LHS, the common term is xc. By getting common xc, it is xc half m1 plus m2 is equals to m1 x1 plus m2 x2. From this, the value of xc is equals to, here the whole term m1 plus m2 is multiplied with xc, or the xc is multiplied by m1 plus m2. On getting RHS side, it is divided with m1 x1 plus m2 x2. That's why it is xc is equals to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 by m1 plus m2. This is the expression for coordinate of the center of mass on the x-axis for two particles. Okay, if there are some example 3 particles, for 3 particles, then the formula is, for 3 particles, then the formula is xc is equals to m1 x1 plus m2 x2, okay, plus m3 x3 by m1 plus m2 plus m3. Okay, for suppose if there are n number of particles, then for n number of particles, then the expression for the coordinates of the center of mass along the x-axis is xc is equals to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus and so on plus mn xn by m1 plus m2 plus m3 plus and so on plus mn. Okay, if the particles are taken along the y-axis, then the formula is, if the particles are along y-axis, then the formula is yc equals to m1 y1 plus m2 y2 plus and so on plus mn yn by m1 plus m2 plus m3 plus and so on plus mn. Okay, similarly in case of z-axis, if the particles are, along z-axis, then the coordinates of center of mass is ZC is equals to M1 Z1 plus M2 Z2 plus M3 Z3 plus and so on plus Mn Zn by M1 plus M2 plus M3 plus and so on plus Mn. Okay, these are the formulas for the coordinates of center of mass having n number of particles. Okay, these three are the formulas of coordinates of center of mass along the x, y, z axis for n number of particles. Now, the distance of center of mass from the particle. These are the expressions xc, yc, zc. These are the expressions for the coordinates of center of mass of n particles from origin. And what is the expression for the center of mass from the particle? Here the equation 1 is m1r1 plus m2r2. By observing the diagram, the total distance between those two particles is d. It is written as like r1 plus r2 equals to d. From this, r1 is equals to d minus r2. Okay, by substituting the value of r1 in equation 1, we got that m1 into d minus r2 is equals to m2 r2. Okay, by expanding the equation in LHS side, it is m1d minus m1 r2 is equals to m2 r2, and this can be written as m1d is equals to m1 r2 plus m2 r2. From this, in the LHS side, there is a common term r2. By getting common r2, it is r2 into m1 plus m2. So, from this equation, we can write that m1d is equals to, by getting common r2, it is r2 of m1 plus m2. From this, r2 is equals to m1d by m1 plus m2. Okay, here r2, this is the position of center of mass from m2. Okay, similarly, the position of center of mass from m1 is r1 equals to m2d by m1 plus m2. These are the expressions for the position of center of mass from the particles. Okay, r1 is the position of center of mass from the first particle, and r2 is the position of center of mass from the second particle. Okay, these are the different expressions to find out the center of mass. Center of mass in two-dimensional plane. Let us consider an object containing n number of particles having the masses m1, m2, m3 and so on mn. Now these particles are lying in a two-dimensional plane. The two-dimensional plane is here. This is the two-dimensional plane. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. In this two-dimensional plane, there is an object like this, okay, having the n number of particles like this, okay, having the masses m1, m2, m3 and so on, mn, okay, and the coordinates of the particles are x1 comma y1 and x2 comma y2 and x3 comma y3 and so on, xn comma yn. Okay, this particle in the xy plane having the coordinates like x1 comma y1 and the mass m2 having the coordinates x2 comma y2 and mass m3 having the coordinates x3 and y3 and mn having the coordinates xn comma yn. Similarly, this is the center of mass, it having the coordinates xc comma yc. Okay, here the expression for the center of mass along the x coordinate is xc is equals to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus and so on plus m3 x3 by plus and so on mn xn by m1 plus m2 plus and so on plus mn. This is the center of mass of the x coordinate, and center of mass of the y coordinate is yc is equals to m1 y1 plus m2 y2 plus m3 y3 plus and so on mn yn by m1 plus m2 plus and so on plus mn. Okay, here the coordinates are xc comma yc. Okay, and the distance of center of mass from the origin is distance of center of mass from origin is d equals to under root xc square plus yc square. This is the expression for the distance of center of mass from the origin. Similarly, the center of mass in three-dimensional plane having an object having the particles of masses m1, m2, m3 and so on mn, having the coordinates here in the two-dimensional plane having the coordinates x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3 and so on xn yn. In the three-dimensional plane for those masses the coordinates are x1 comma y1 comma z1 and x2 y2 z2, okay, and so on xn yn zn. These are the coordinates of the particles of an object when it is in three-dimensional plane. Okay, and the position of the center of mass in three-dimensional plane is xc comma yc comma zc. Okay, similarly, as like in the previous case, the formulas for the center of mass of x coordinates and the center of mass of y coordinates is same, but in the three-dimensional plane there is an extra coordinate which is z-axis having the center of mass as like zc is equals to m1 z1 plus m2 z2 plus m3 z3 and so on plus mn zn by m1 plus m2 plus m3 plus and so on plus mn. Okay, and the distance of center of mass from the origin here for the three-dimensional plane, the diagram is as like this. This is a three-dimensional plane. Okay, this is x-axis and this is y-axis and this is z-axis. Now the object is lying in this plane like that, it having the number of masses m1 m2 m3 and so on mn, having the coordinates x1 y1 z1 and x2 y2 z2 and so on xn yn zn. Here the distance of center of mass from the origin is distance of center of mass from the origin is d equals to under root xc square plus yc square plus zc square. This is the expression for the distance of center of mass from the origin in case of the three-dimensional plane. Okay. Motion of center of mass. Let us consider a system contains n number of particles having individual masses m1, m2, m3, and so on mn. These are the individual masses of the system. By adding all these individual masses of the system, we got the total mass of a system as capital M. Okay, already we having the position vector of center of mass as RCM is equals to M1 R1 bar plus M2 R2 bar plus and so on plus Mn Rn bar by M1 plus M2 plus and so on plus Mn. In the denominator, we just adding all the particles of the individual masses. In the denominator, we just add all the masses of the particles in a system. By adding the total system containing the mass capital M, and it can be written as like RCM is equals to M1 R1 bar plus M2 R2 bar plus and so on plus Mn Rn bar by, in the denominator, the total mass of the system is capital M. Okay, on getting capital M into the LHS side, it is capital M into RCM bar is equals to M1 R1 bar plus M2 R2 bar plus and so on plus Mn Rn bar. Okay, from this, now we have to find out the velocity of center of mass. Okay, now the differentiating this equation on both sides with respect to time, differentiating with respect to time on both sides, then the equation can be written as like d by dt of m into RCM bar is equals to d by dt of M1 R1 bar plus d by dt of M2 R2 bar plus and so on plus d by dt of mn rn bar. Okay, here the total mass of a system is constant. By getting this constant term in front side of the differentiation, there is only the remaining term RCM. Okay, this is the position vector. Position vector is nothing but which is the vector which denotes the position of a particle from the origin in the coordinate system. Okay, by differentiating it, we got the velocity. M is the constant. Okay, and the remaining term is d into RCM bar by dt. dr by dt. Here r is the position vector. By differentiating the position vector, we got the velocity. Here position vector is nothing but some distance from the origin. Okay, it is VCM bar, that is equals to m1 v1 bar plus, here also m1 is the constant. By differentiating the r1 bar with respect to time, here r1 bar is the position vector of the particle of mass m1. Okay, and similarly for the remaining particles it is m2 v2 bar plus and so on mn vn bar. Okay, from this the velocity of center of mass is vcm bar is equals to m1 v1 bar plus m2 v2 bar plus and so on plus mn vn bar by m. This is nothing but the velocity of the center of mass. Okay, from this equation, let it be some equation number 1. There are two particles. For two particles, velocity of center of mass is, velocity of center of mass is m1 v1 bar plus m2 v2 bar by m1 plus m2. It is by adding we got the total mass of a system. Okay, if the two particles are moving along the same direction, if those two particles moving along same direction, then velocity of center of mass is m1 v1 plus m2 v2 by m. If those two particles are moving in opposite directions, then velocity of center of mass is m1 v1 minus m2 v2 by total mass of the system. If those two particles are moving in perpendicular directions, then velocity of center of mass is under root m1 v1 square plus m2 v2 square by total mass of the system. These are the different expressions for the velocity of center of mass for two particles. This is for those two particles moving in same direction, and this is for those two particles moving in opposite directions, and this is for those two particles moving in perpendicular directions. Now, by observing the equation 1, it is like a product of mass into velocity, and in the RHS side also all the terms containing product of mass into velocity. We already know that the product of mass into velocity is called momentum. Okay, from equation 1 we can write that m into Vcm bar is equals to m1 v1 bar. Mass into velocity is called momentum. It is momentum of the first particle, and m2 v2 bar, it is the momentum of the second particle, and so on. mn vn bar, it is the momentum of the nth particle. In the LHS side, the sum of individual momentums of all the particles is equals to the total mass of a system into velocity of center of mass. Now this is called momentum of center of mass. Momentum of center of mass of a system is equals to, is nothing but P bar suffix Cm is equals to P1 bar plus P2 bar plus and so on plus Pn bar, where P bar C is the momentum of center of mass. Momentum of center of mass is nothing but the product of total mass of a system into velocity of center of mass. Acceleration of center of mass. Already we know that momentum of center of mass has like that P1 bar plus P2 bar plus P3 bar plus and so on Pn bar, and this momentum of center of mass is nothing but total mass of a system into velocity of center of mass, which is equals to individual momentums is m1 v1 bar plus m2 v2 bar plus m3 v3 bar plus and so on plus mn vn bar. Okay, now the differentiating this equation on both sides with respect to time. Differentiating the above equation with respect to time. Okay, this is nothing but d by dt of m into velocity of center of mass is equals to d by dt of m1 v1 bar plus m2 v2 bar plus and so on plus mn vn bar. Okay, in this mass is constant. Here the total mass of a system capital M is constant, and m1 is the mass of the first particle, m2 is the mass of the second particle, and the system containing n number of particles, and mn is the mass of the nth particle. All the masses of the particles also remains constant, and we differentiating the velocity of center of mass, and here the velocity of the first particle, here the velocity of the second particle. By differentiating those two, we got that differentiation of velocity with respect to time is nothing but acceleration. dv by dt is acceleration. From this we got that total mass of a system is constant, and differentiation of velocity of center of mass with respect to time is nothing but acceleration of center of mass, which is equals to, similarly in the RHS side also, by expanding this differentiation to all individual momentums, we got that m1 into a1 bar plus m2 into a2 bar plus and so on plus mn into an bar. Okay, let this be equation number sum 2. Now we already know that from Newton's second law, mass into acceleration is force. And the above equation can be written as like FCM is equals to F1 bar plus F2 bar plus F3 bar and so on plus Fn bar. Okay, and this equation can be written in the form of limits as like FCM is equals to limit I equals to 1 to n Fi. Okay, and it is nothing but FCM is equals to sum of force due to internal particles and external force. Now, force due to internal particles of a system is equals to 0. Simply it is FCM is equals to Fe. Here, if any system having the acceleration, then it is only due to the external force. And equation 2 can be written as like, here there is a mass multiplied with acceleration of center of mass. On getting RHS side, we can write the acceleration of center of mass as m1a1 bar plus m2a2 bar plus and so on mnan bar by total mass of the system. This is the expression for the acceleration of the center of mass.